Hello everyone, it's me, Vintage Gaudi. Welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. And welcome finally to the tutorial video of how you can create your own labels for Barbie and Friends fashions. So I got a lot of requests from you on how did to kind of create these labels over here. So I got labels for Barbie, for Skipper, for Ken, for example, but you can do for whoever you want these labels. So today is the day where I'm actually showing you on how you can create these labels on your own to organize your fashions from Barbie or whatever toy line you have to organize. So this is an easy way on how to do that. First, the most easiest way would have been that I upload the data files on a homepage or something that I can share and give it to you. So the most requests were like uploaded on Google. I think it was Google Drive actually, but it worked till a certain point. Because of course before I put it online, I tested with my friends and family and wanted to make sure everything is fine and everything is good. But there is a huge but. It has issues with privacy. So all the ones that tested for me these labels that I've put on Google Drive could see my username and could see my mail address that I have from Google. So everything was visible online. But not only that, I think till a certain point I could live with that. But otherwise, I could also see their personal informations. And that is the thing that I don't want to do public and I don't want to share that. And I'm sure you don't want to have that too, because you don't want me to know your mail address as well and your information. So I kind of trashed the idea to put the labels online and to make it for you easier to download it. So I came up with the idea. I do a tutorial, then you can create your own labels, you can get creative on however you want to be creative and do whatever you want with the labels. So this is why I did this tutorial. I had to search for a while to get a program that films my screen and shows each step that I'm doing, so you can go and do the steps as well. And it is easy and explanate for you. So I found the one program that is doing that, but just to know, I put a lot of effort in that one to show you these labels and how you can create it. Before we start with the tutorial, there is something that you need to know about the paper we use. Of course, we need to have label paper. I have prepared here two versions of label paper actually. You have to go and search the ones that are for your country specifically. So yeah, there could be differences, but here are the two ones that I use the most for it. One of it is actually a brand that is not so known, so it is basically, I guess, a Swiss brand or something. But anyways, I will show you in the tutorial on how you can create your own label in case if you don't find the brand in the section where you need to go to it. Okay, first, we need self-sticking labels. So here it is just written in other languages, but we need one that is self-sticking. This one here shows, for example, how big is one single label. So this one here is actually one of these little squares over here. Then we need to know how many are on one paper. So this is one paper and it has 24 single labels. So when you count row 3 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 3 times 8 means 24. So you got on one single paper 24 labels, which is kind of a lot. And the size of it is kind of perfect. So the size is actually this size that I'm using over here. So it's basically a good size. So this is one thing that we need to know for this specific one with 24 single labels. There are other companies and brands that offers also with 24, or maybe sometimes it is 21, then the single labels are a little bit bigger depending on what your preferences are. So this is one that I use the most, but if you don't find any paper, any self-sticking labels with kind of pre-made single labels. So just show you how they look. Well, I got one over here. So you see they already have like sticky, and you can kind of get off your label, put it on the fashions, and it is easy to go. So this is 24. We got it 3 times 8, which is exactly this size over here. 24 single labels with this paper. So in case if you are not finding anything similar like this, there is from Avery. Avery is, I guess, really an international brand. So it should be no problem for you to get it. Probably on Amazon or whatever, you will find it. So Avery is one that is, yeah, a huger brand. And it also is written in English, so we got it universal or multi-purposes labels. Ideal as shipping label, reliable, strong, adhesion, or something like that. So this is cool, but this one is different. We got here one sticky paper. So the whole paper is one sticky thing, which means I prepared for you. So I have made like these single labels, but they are not individually to be wrapped. They are on one sticking paper. So what I need to do later on is to cut here and to cut here, so I get the single labels, and then with the paper in the back, like for example over here, I can kind of get it off and put it on the fashion. So this is a thing that you have to decide what you want to prefer. Keep in mind, and this is quite important, look on these indications down here. These indications will be important for the tutorial later, as well as these indications over here, because I will show you on how you can get easily that things put together, and then you can easily create your own labels. So we need those measurements. Also important, if you are using Avery, here is a number. This number I'm really showing you also in the tutorial as well, but these are the informations you need. You need these informations over here from like Avery, and you need of course the brand. So the informations on the top of the box of your labels is important. A little side note before we're going directly into the tutorial. If you are doing these labels exactly as I'm putting in the tutorials, and they look similar when not even exactly like that ones that I'm showing you in the tutorial as well. So be so kind, and if someone asks you where did you get this label, then link my tutorial to it. Don't say, well, I made these labels. Of course, yes, you did it. You made like all the things and so on. But if they are looking kind of exactly like mine, please be so kind and say where you got them from. And what I don't like to see if they are being sold somewhere online and pretend you self-made them. You basically self-made it, yes, on your own computer. You had my tutorial as a help. That's totally okay, that's fine. But if they are looking exactly like mine, if they're looking similar to mine and so on, so please be so kind and say where you got it from or what inspired you to do these labels. So I'm not mad if you are kind of spread it with your friends and community. If you have a community somewhere, you can do that, but simply be so fair and tell them where you got them from, because my community knows where the labels, the original labels, comes. And it can happen that someone will link me and say, look, this person is pretending they're kind of came up with the idea. So it is basically about the idea. I want you to be honest and say the idea is from Vintage Gaudi. I made my own version, so then it is fair. Just be that fair, and I hope you will do that. So now it is time for the tutorial. Now welcome to the tutorial on how to do your own label. Once you have done it, it is super easy, but it needs a little bit of work to do so. But once you have it, then it's perfect and ready. I will show you step by step on how you can do this tutorial and your own personal labels. First of all, we need a kind of sample of it. That means we need our sizes of the labels where, you can print them out actually. The size of the labels is referencing to your own label paper that you have. I have shown you in the intro already on what is or what signs or what references are important for you. So please keep your label paper next to you while you are doing and creating your own labels, so you always have the right measurements, you have the right sizes, etc. just next to you, so it goes a lot faster than otherwise. First of all, creating the label. That means we need to go up there, here where you have your registers. Also make sure you're using Word. So I'm using Word to do this tutorial right now, so I'm not sure how it works on other programs, but here I'm showing you how to do it on Word, you know, Microsoft Word, Excel, etc. We are here in Word. We need to go on Sendungen. So yes, my kind of screen is in German, but I think there's not much differences in English as well. So we got Start, Einfügen, Seitenlayout, Verweise, Sendung, Überprüfen, Ansicht. So if you don't know what Sendung means, just count the registers. I guess in English it's the same amount of registers up there as well. So we go to Sendungen. Sendungen means there is a register where you can actually make like letters, so serial letters. We need Sendungen, and here we got Etiketten. Etiketten, German word for labels. So probably on your screen, if you have an English version, it says labels over there. We click on it. So now here is the way where we can create our own labels. Here you can see actually there's nothing. So yes, we need to do a new one. That means we have to go on options. So you have here print, new document, options, and e-porto, blah, blah. We need options. So I'm putting this a little bit in the middle of it. A new tag has opened right now. Now, if you have labels or label paper from a company that is kind of well known, like Avery, I have shown you that one as well. You can go here, Etikettenhersteller. So this is actually the company, the label company. You go there. And then you can search, like for example, I've mentioned the Avery Zweckform, is it called in English? You see it right on your label paper, what's the name of it. So Avery Zweckform. Then you got here the label numbers, and then you go and search for that number that is on your paper. In this case, it is the number 6119, for example. So this is the label that this is just the example that I want to show you on how to search for the most famous companies. So here you got a list of a lot of most famous companies. Mine, however, is from an unknown company, which means I need to create my own label for that specific company that is not in here. So we got here a lot of like Planet, Office Depot, and so on and so on. So, but when your company of your label paper is not in this list, that's not a problem. You can come up with your own idea. That means here you go on andere or Benutzer definiert. In English, it should be like others and personalized. So we go on that. You see, I have already created one over here, but I'll show you how you can do it. Now we go on details. And then it looks a little bit weird, but it is super simple. Actually, you have to put in here like the height of the label and here the largeness or the width of your label. Everything on these measurements you can see on the front packaging from your label paper. So that's quite easy. Mine from my no-name brand or not existing brand is here. The height is 3.7 centimeters. Of course, if you have another metric system, it will be then that one. And the width of it is 7 centimeters. Then I need to put in how many rows there are. This label has like 3 rows horizontal, 3 rows vertical and 8 rows horizontal. That means 8 times 3 makes 24, so that's how many labels I can print on just one paper. Then you click on OK. Then here it shows your measurements. Sometimes you can also give it a name, so you can name like the brand of your label or so. That's Papeteria is the one that I got. And then here You see the measurements of it. You see also the paper, how the size of the paper is actually then later on in the printer. So there's everything in here you can put in. Also you can put, if you have in Switzerland or Europe, there is A4 is kind of a norm for a paper, but also here, for example, you see there's US letters and so on and so on, but or you can do your own. Here in Switzerland, we use A4, so that's what I got, and otherwise you have to put there something else. That is for your country specific. Once we have done the quick check over here what it is, and then click OK. And now we are back on this tab over here. Then now you click New Document. Voila! So when we scroll up and down, you can see here the lines that indicate our labels. So we got here 3 rows vertical and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows here horizontal. That's exactly 24 labels on one paper. In the measurements, so in the background they measured everything here. We got like the 3.5 centimeters height and the 7 centimeters width. That's everything now made, so you can now get creative. That's kind of easy and that's simple. Now we're coming to create like the logo. There are different versions where you can, or how you can do that. I'm going with creating your own logo because it is some sort half legal to go on Google, for example, and take a picture with the logo. Of course, you can go Google Barbie logo picture, Barbie logo vector, or some sort of that, and put it in there. It looks quite nice and really cool. But I'm not sure if it's legal for your country or not, so I'm not showing you how to do that. I'm showing you how to do your own lettering, your own logo. Which means now we got up here a new register. That means tabellen tools or table tools, I guess is the right word. Then we have here a layout and we have here like kind of the prototype of it. And now we want to have like a Barbie logo. What can I do? Of course, I can write here like Barbie, but I cannot kind of put it sideways. So I just can, how can I do it? I can do it bigger or so, but I want my logo to be in this direction, like a little bit not horizontal, but vertical, a little bit in this angle. How can we do that? Well, I'm showing you my technique, how I did, but probably you have your own technique. So you can come up with that technique how you want to do it. I'm doing it like this. I'm going here to einfügen, which means put in. Then here we got a text field. Then I'm using the first one up here. So now it's super sizey. We do not need that big size, but well, we are doing here just writing in Barbie, for example, and then I do narrow it down a little bit, so to this size. Then you see this green button up here, which means you can kind of turn it around in the direction that you want. I want it to have a little bit kind of sort of cursive or what it is called, so that's what I want to do. So now I got here just Barbie in the corner. Of course, this does not look good at all, so we need a little bit to modify this thing. When you click in there, in this kind of, it builds like a frame. So this text field, this frame, when you click in there, it is horizontal. That makes it a little bit easier to adjust it. Now I mark the Barbie, what I have written, and now I can go and play around with colors and fillings and effects and so on. Automatically, I'm showing you just, I click outside of the frame. You see here is another register. Once I click in the frame, then it does a changing. So I click in the frame. See, now here is another frame or another register open, which means Zeichen tools, so like tools to adjust. I mark my word, then I go to the text filling. So in here, Textfüllung means the filling of the text. I want to have it white. Now it is just disappeared. But I want to have a contouring, which is pink. If you don't find the matching color you want to have over here, then there is another one that says weitere Linienfarben, so forward other linings. And here we got a brightish pink that I can find, or you can also do your own pink if you want here in the personalized, but I'm using the standard pink up here and click OK. Now you can see already, oh, this looks kind of interesting. To do a little bit the peak of everything, the cherry of the top of the cake, I'm using some shadows. Also, I'm going here, here is the filling, the contouring, and here's the effects. First one that appears is called Schatten, which means shadows. First one is no shadow, then you got shadows on the one side, in the middle, and so on, and you can kind of play around, and it immediately shows you how it looks. So when you just go with the mouse over one of the effects, over here it automatically shows you how it looks. It does not appear quite good because it's just a tiny one, but if you see there, it changes. You see how it changes? Yeah. For example, here we got the shadow above and so on, and here we got inner shadows, etc. and so on. I'm using this shadow here in the middle that is called offset unten, which means on the bottom. I'm using that because it gives like more a little bit this 3D action, which is similar to the 80s and early 90s Barbie logo, which I really like and is my favorite. Now, here we have now the Barbie logo with the shadow. A little bit, you can see over here, a little bit of shadow is already there. Now we needed to have a little bit bigger so we can also see something. The size that matches perfectly is your own preferences. I'm using it not too big because I want to see also, or my focus is not actually the Barbie name, my focus is actually the label itself and what it is meant to be. So my label should be an indication of what year is it, the name, is there missing components or is it complete, and if it's missing something, what is missing. So I need this space over here, so I'm not doing the Barbie logo too big. I'm using like size 13. It is up to you. You can play around. You can also do like a 20 if you want. Then you have to put it to make it bigger and so. But I'm using like something between 13 and 14. Just let me put in here a 13. Then now you can see already with the white filling, it looks a little bit better. Now we have this annoying black frame and I don't want to have that frame. You can have it, you can also color in it differently if you want. The frame is actually also here in the tools. So again, when I'm outside of the frame, there is another register up here. If I suddenly click in the frame, well, you are just here where you have to do the adjustments. And now, to do the adjustments for the frame itself, you have seen the black frame. I'm going here to form contour. This is the contour for the frame itself. I don't want any frame, so here kein Rahmen, which means no frame at all. So good. Yeah, now we have no frame and no annoying coloring or something like that. Then, yeah, you can adjust the size of it, as I mentioned, in Start. Then you can go and adjust it to a 13 or whatever size you want. I want to have my Barbie logo as close as possible to the original ones. Of course, the Barbie logo is an own creation of Mattel and is also under license, so there will be no chance to find it here in the standards. So that means here we see actually my Calibri text, la la la. And you click here on that little kind of arrow thingy, then it gives the drop down. And here are all the letterings which Microsoft is offering to you that you can use. And probably there are more matching ones to the Barbie's 80s logo. I came up with the idea that, or my preference is actually Tahoma, one of also these letterings. Once you go and skip down to T, where we have RS, where is the T? Here, for example, Tahoma is the one that seems to, for me, a little bit the closest to the Barbie logo, but of course you can play around and check which one or which lettering is your favorite. Now it looks a little bit thin over here, which I want to prefer. I want to have it fat, so my lettering is a little bit fatter. Right, this, so actually now you can see it is, I have to adjust it a little bit because of course when you do it fatter, the lettering, then, well, it goes wider. Then I'm here thinking, the pink part is a little bit small for my taste. Well, then I'm going back to format, or here in the painting tools, and then you can also do the contour and the width or the size of the contouring actually. Here we have already made the frame in pink, but also we can do here like bigger scratches. Of course, the bigger it is, the less you see from the white inside, but I think this one, for example, looks cool, the 1.5 point or the 1 point also. Let me go with the 1 point. It looks kind of more accurate. And now it's so easy, is now made my own personal Barbie logo. Still adjusting a little bit to put it in the corner. So this is kind of how you can do your own label actually. Once you have done it for Barbie, you can always go and check and say, well, I want one for Ken, and my Ken should be like the filling, or yeah, not the filling, the text contour, maybe blue. So I'm come up with a blue Ken logo or something like that. I'm not doing this for Ken, so I'm just going back here and leave it with Barbie. Then you can show, yeah, then you can do whatever and however you want. Now we want to have our labels. For that we have to do a little bit of adjustments. You see here these squares and these ones here. I want to have them on the edge of it. So I just go with the mouse on it, click it and kind of put it to side. The same here. So here you have to be careful with this, like, yeah, whatever shape it is. You have to go and click on the square. So here, down here, you see a square. You click on the square and then you can push it aside. If you are not on the square, if you're just on one of these ones, then you move just the under part of it. So be sure, click on the square and then you move it right to the edge of your letter of your label. Now we use some tab stops actually, not many, but we need some of them actually. So that means I want to start somewhere here with the year, the name, etc. and so on. How we do this? Over here we have tab stops. So you can see here in the corner, and once you go with the mouse just above it, it says tab stops links, which means tab stop left. And then you click on it and you get all the tab stops. But first we need one on our left, which means we are putting one, well, where do we want to put it? I think we are putting it somewhere here. So this is where my name, etc. starts. But also we need something to end. And now we need another one. You can see here it is shaped like this. And once you click on it, we got a T shape upside down, and then click again and we got the one that shapes in the other direction. When you go with the mouse on it, it says tab stop rechts, which means tab stop right. We're gonna go, oh, I just clicked it too much. In case if you have clicked too much, just click go and through it. So you have seen I'm already here again. Then you go here on your measurements, put in somewhere and click and hold it, click and hold, and then you can kind of put it right on the edge over here. So this edge here is actually where your label ends. So this is the size from your label. Now, how can I come here and write? So my cursor is actually here. If I write, then I'm, yeah, kind of writing behind the Barbie logo. Now, on your desk where you have all your numbers and all your letters, you press Control and you use the tab stop or the tabulator. Use that. Press Control and press the tabulator, and then yeah, it just jumps over here. Now I'm not, or yeah, well, you can write here, for example, year or something like that. But for me, it is too close to the edge actually from my label, so I kind of want to do or to start my namings for the labels a little bit lower. For that I'm using, or for that I'm just going one, yeah, enter, you click enter on your laptop, and then it is again over here. So same procedure, click control and the tabulator, and then you are actually here where you have put the tab stops. Now it starts. I want to have it called year first. And then I need a line where I can actually write the year. So with just a blank space, it happens that I write like, yeah, however, but not on line. So I want to have here a line. Now these tab stops comes into the game. We can program that. For that we are going here, it says Absatz, it's just on start. We have here where you can actually adjust your letterings, and here are some other adjustments. Absatz, and then you click here on the little arrow, and then we can go down here, it says tab stops, click on that, and now we got all my measurements that I have made. So one tab stop here is at 225, which is this one, and then we have one at 695, which is this one. We want to go to 695, and then we want to have some lining. So without, ohne means without the lining. Then here we can have little dots, or we can have like little other things, or we can have a straight line. I prefer to have little dots. That looks for me kind of the best, I guess. Then we go here on Festlegen. That means that it is programmed for this size. Festlegen, click it, and now it has saved. So before it was over here, now it is over here, and we can click OK. Still you can't see anything. Now we use again control and tabulator, and voila, you have here your first lining. Then I want to do one more for the name. Actually, also clicked again enter, and then again tabulator and control, and you are just underneath the year. As you have put your tab stops, it always goes directly over there, and here I want to have a name. How is this fashion piece called? So, name. Then, since we have programmed here the linings, then you do again control and tabulator. You got another more lining for the name. So, now we are on this third layer over here. And since Barbie's names can be quite long, I want to have here one full row of these dots over here. So I can write here, like, for example, Fashion Avenue, then here bridal edition, numbered, la 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 la. So I need definitely space over here to write the label again. Now here comes a little bit the tricky thing. So we have programmed this one over here, and now we are starting on just on the front of the label. Actually, it should work perfectly. Let me just check if it works. Yes. See, it did not work. So it starts the dots over here underneath this tabulator. That's what I don't want. I want to have the whole row. So I'm going backspace again and again. And I kind of try to remove this one here. Removing, let me just go back. Removing this one means you click on it and you just kind of put it inside of the field over here, and then it disappears. So easy. Just again here, click on this one and kind of push it downwards, and well, it disappeared. So good so far. Now it should work when you click again control and tabulator. Voila, we got a whole row for these dots, and not a lot more space now actually to write over here. Now, next point that I want to put on is actually, is this set complete or not? For that, I'm also starting just in the front of my label and writing complete question mark. For that, I'm not using any tabulators. I'm using just the space button on my computer. So I'm holding it and doing some clicks over here so that I'm just right underneath the name here. a little bit over here. So I'm just looking that I'm underneath so everything is symmetrical. It is up to you on how you want to create it. Now I want to have like a little square where I can fill in something. For that I'm going to the second register. Here in German word it is einfügen, so fill in. Then I'm moving over to symbol, and just above the right symbol over here is that square that I need. Of course, you can also do like smileys and whatever, and here are more symbols. But I'm needing this square, and it happens to have to be just the first one. In case if you don't have this square as the first one, you can go to more symbols. And here you can see here are a lot of symbols over here that you can actually kind of use. And here are the ones that you used at last. So if you don't find your symbols, here are a ton of symbols actually, then you can go here. It says windings, but there are more windings actually. You got windings 0, windings 2 and 3. So in case if your symbols are not here, then you go on windings 2. Here, for example, you can see there is just one filled in, but we need a blank one. So just scroll down and see, oh, this one looks actually like a blank one. So it's basically a white square. You can also use that one while clicking on it, and then einfügen means fill in. I already have mine, so I go on this one here and einfügen. And you see, it has already filled in. Now you close this one, and then the question is complete, which means we got just only 2 answers, yes or no. If you want to be more specific, you can also say yes, no, partially, for example. But for me, it is easier to say yes or no. Then, so I've played here first the yes, depending on what you want to first to have no or whatever. Then we need a second one. I'm also again pushing the space button on my computer a few more times, which I guess I will do it over here. Then you go again to symbol, and now you should see your last one that you have used. Click on it, and once again we have one symbol more, and then I can say no. It's complete, yes or no. Then I want to have one more row, which is indicating if it's not complete. So when I do the cross here, no, it's not complete, then I want to know what is missing. So my next thing or my next subject is missing. Maybe there's another word for it, it's just what I think it is in English. So missing, and now I want again to have these like little dots. We still have the tabulator over here. So when I press again Control and tabulator, I got the rows. Then I make another enter and press again tabulator and Control on my desk, on my laptop, and then I have the whole row over here. So easy, because missing means for me sometimes there are a lot of missing pieces. For example, I find a Barbie t-shirt. So I have the Barbie t-shirt. Of course it is then not complete. I say no, but what is missing? Then for example, that t-shirt comes with specific trousers like denim trousers. Then I write here denim trousers in black, for example. White shoes, a black handbag, and a pink hat, for example. So I need these rows definitely to write something down. So that's what I kind of my experience are. Sometimes it is enough, sometimes I need more rows. Then I just write over here in the little kind of blank space more. So in case if you need more space to write, you can always kind of delete this enter. Oh, well, actually now it has, yeah, it has kind of put everything aside, but we need to delete it. So what I just made with this row, so it creates this own row over here. I marked it. I make like this with the mouse. I'm marking it. The cursor just in front of the year, and then I'm using backspace, and then now it is again on the same line. And here it creates one more row for our lettering. So easy. So in case if you need more rows to write it down, you can do that. But for me, for my personal taste, I like it to have here a more space. Yeah, but it is up to you, so you can do and be creative. It is a patient work, so you need to be patient at all with it. But once you have it, of course, you save it and then you have it forever. Like, yeah, so easy, so fast. Now we have our first label, but you can see we have here still blank spaces. We need to fill in that. Now, if you have your label with the exact like sizes you want, you can come and play a little bit around. You can kind of maybe you want your logo a little bit on this side. Once you push the logo over your linings or over your kind of namings, then it disappears. So make sure it is everything visible that you want to see. You probably can also a little bit play around in the size. So if you say 13 looks a little bit small, let me go with a 14. Oh, it looks actually bigger. How is it with a 15? Oh no, this is too big actually. Just a mistake. But 15. Oh, and then you see the E of Barbie already disappeared. So once you can do it bigger over here, but then make sure you have your things visible. So, oh, actually it looks kind of cool. Then you can adjust it by a little bit pushing aside. Okay, that's cool, really nice. And if you think, oh, this word over here is a little bit too close to the edge, it might go wrong, then you can just put in some 1 or 2 blank, pressing your space button on your computer, and then it looks like this, and it is already a little bit better. So I think this looks kind of cool. So let me just leave it like this. Okay, so we need to fill in these spaces right now over here, because otherwise we will just print one paper with one little label and the other paper parts are blank. So we don't want to do that. That's a waste of paper. What we are gonna do is actually we copy this one that we have already created, included the logo. On your computer, you can press Ctrl and C for control and copy. Then we go in the second one, and you can see here, this one here, for example, is a little bit out of shape. So we want to adjust that just around here on the same line as the kind of the border of that label. And then you press Ctrl V on your computer, or if you are not familiar with that, you can go here with on your mouse, you click the right button and then here einfügen. So it's up to you what you want to do. Einfügen. Oh, and now we can see here is a lining missing. So how do we want to fix that? Actually, we go here on the last line, put enter again, and then on your computer press Ctrl and tabulator, and now you got your lining again. Make sure that your Barbie logo is not over the border. So here it indicates your border. These linings, these blue linings, you will not see on your paper. This is just like a helping for you to know where is your label, how is the size of your label. So make sure your Barbie logo is not like this, because otherwise it is cut in half and we don't want to have that. So make sure that it is on the right position actually. So here you can see, oh, it is on the right position, perfect. Now we need one more, which means this one over here. We still have the first label in kind of control. Now we want to fill in this one. So click in that third kind of label, and you see again, this is out of space, this is not where it should be. Again, click here in the square, press it or kind of push it over. That is just on the edge of the label, and the same we're doing over here. And now we can press on your computer again, Ctrl V, Ctrl einfügen, and it is here again. Again, missing here this line, so we kind of go on the front. We always start here on the front, clicking Ctrl and tabulator. Oh, okay, so it did not work. What does it mean if that does not work? Well, we actually don't have this, just cut it off, but we actually are missing this tabulator. So once we are here in the second label, you see here the little kind of black edge, and here the same one. In this one here, it is missing, so we have to put in one. You see, we need that one that looks in this direction, that looks to the right. Click on your measurement thing somewhere and then hold it and push it aside just on the edge over here. And now we have to program it a little bit again. Go to this little arrow, go to tab stops, and then you say again, hey, this is my measurement. I wanted to have these little dots. Festlegen, okay. And now when you push or press on your computer control and tabulator, you got your rows. So it is a little bit technical, but I hope this step-by-step thing helps you to get your labels. So this is how I made it. Probably there is a little easier way to do so, but yeah, I mentioned it is just my way. Now we have filled in all these three things. From now on, it is super easy. What we are going to do, we go with the mouse in front of it here and click it. And now you see it has marked the whole row. The whole horizontal row is marked. On your computer, you click again Control C for copy. Go to the second row, second horizontal row, click here, and you see the whole is marked again. Then you press Control V. Voila, you have it. Now you're doing this process on all 8 rows, or how many rows your label paper has. Always only press now Control V, because we already have it in the copy. So voila, we have filled in our Barbie label. I don't know why, but it creates a second paper actually. But we don't need the second paper, and I don't know how at this point on how to remove it. So probably if you mark it and backspace. Yes, okay, so it's work. So in case if your program is also creating a second paper, blank paper, we don't use that. So just mark the first row and hold it till the end, and then click backspace. And so we have removed the second page, which we don't need. So we just need this page actually, because once we have created this label, you can print so many pages as you want, but we just need this one here. And that's basically it about the labels. You want to save it, to go on the tie and save it somewhere where you always can find it. And then you can print out as many labels as you want for your Barbie collection or Ken collection. As I mentioned, if you have one label made for Barbie, you can always go and change it and say, well, I want one for Skipper, probably. Oh, well, Skipper is just a little bit bigger, so you have to adjust the size. But let me just get Ken over here. And I want to have Ken in, as I mentioned, blue color, green color, whatever color you want to have your Ken doll or Ken labels, because Ken has also his own fashion, which is kind of cool. And then you do the same procedure. Well, actually here, or you do just, you can do manually all the labels, kind of coloring with Ken. So let me just get the same one here. And we do this one again with Ken and the same color. So that was this blue one. So we got one row, click it here in the front, press Control and copy, go to the second row, press Control and V for put in, and then you can go all the way around, and then you have your labels for your Ken. So easy, so fast. And yeah, look what happens right now. It creates a second page. So we have here on the second page, I don't know if you can see it, probably not, but we have now one page that is for Ken, and we have one page that is Barbie logos. So yeah, however you want to do it, but it is, once you have made the first 3 labels, it is easy in just copy it and put it down on all the horizontal lines, and then you got it, and you can kind of print it out and have your own personalized label. It is a thing that needs a little bit time, but once you have done it, it is super easy. You can do your individual own things, which is kind of nice. And now just a helpful tip for you. Make sure before you are printing your labels to look that everything is visible. You see here, this is the Ken logo that I have designed. And yeah, you see it is not showing Ken, it says N. These ones here are in perfect shape, but the first ones in the first rows are kind of not complete. Here complete says complete and missing is missing. So if you are a person who wanted to have complete and good looking logos, make sure to adjust this row over here. How you can do that? Quite simple. Go back to your document. So here we are back in the document, and then just take the logo from Barbie or Ken or whatever. Maybe you have to adjust in size, but sometimes it also helps if you just kind of adjust it a little bit into the document, so a little bit away from the edge. So what I just made is taking the logo and place it a little bit inwards. And also complete was cut out, so I'm pressing sometimes 1, 2, 3, 4 times on the space button on my computer, again with this one, so these are in the same kind of row. So we have created this one, and basically you mark again your line and then Control C, and then go to the next line, Control V, and then you see it has adjusted. That is what I recommend you to do before you're printing your thing. I think that's it. I hope it helped you a little bit. I hope you can do your own creations and labels. Please go and check out more videos on my YouTube channel. Click the subscribe button, and we will see us in the next video with Vintage Gaudi. Bye!